And welcome to the UGO podcast, Unapologetic Geek Out. Oh my goodness, Travis, we are back at it again.
That's right, we do this still.
November is over, so I would like to announce that we are going to be back on a regularly weekly basis again.
So I guess our No Nut November is done then?
Unless I get tired. But yeah, we had our last episode was Daishokan. And that went up. That was pretty cool. We didn't get to have an episode talking about it, but it was fun. I was mad because I didn't get to participate in it that much.
Yeah, you were gone for like 3 hours.
I had to go do Pod Against Evil. Like I got a problem with an editing thing, and I spent a lot more time normally in the edit. At Daishokan, and I just wasted a lot of time there. So I don't feel like it was our most successful Daishokan, but the panels went well.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone participating in the Voltron panel and anime pitch and everything like that. But who is congratulating you? Why, it's me, Nick the Merc with the mic, and my fellow unapologist,
Travis.
That is the god of the pod himself, and of course our special guest unapologist, Patience Robinson. Patience. Yes.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I should treat you with respect. It's Professor Patience or Prof Patience.
Prof Patience.
Prof Patience.
It doesn't matter.
I feel like when we have the guest on, I should put proper respect on their name. But Patience, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Happy post Thanksgiving and pre Christmas. It's
Part
like
one of
that
Christmas
weird
has been completed.
Exactly. It's like that weird, like, limbo sort of like, okay, I don't know what to do with myself. Should I dedicate myself to Christmas, or should I just, like, sit on my couch and eat turkey leftovers?
Both are good.
No, I get it. So this episode, it is going to be another kind of free-form one here, although I might stick, Travis and I's thoughts on the new She-Ra season at the very end of this as kind of our main theme, because we just got finished watching She-Ra for Netflix. But yeah, this one is just going to be kind of a catch-up and how we doing, stuff in the news, so pretty laid back and relaxed. And when I think laid back and relaxed and people I want to just digitally hang with, I think of Patience. So thanks for joining us, Patience.
Thank you for having me, intro and teatro. We roll together, we die together.
We ride together, we die together, baby. Oh boy. So let's get to the how we doing segment, because I don't have someone disintegrated this week, but I do have a creepy story from work.
Oh god, now what?
Does anyone else want to go first before I get into my thing? So that
let's just get out of the way.
I want to hear about this. I want to hear this creepy story.
Okay, so yeah. I was gonna get off of work. I'm waiting for someone to relieve me from a post, so when the machines can keep running. I work in a fake factory type setting, operating machines and stuff like that. And suddenly over the intercom system that usually announces like, oh, we need a process tech on 502, like one of the machine numbers, or we need a maintenance over here or something. Suddenly it cuts on and I hear a bunch of static, and then suddenly I hear a recording of small children slowly singing the song Frere Jacques.
Oh god.
And it's just like, Frere Jacques, just over this intercom system. And I went over to to one of my coworkers and I said, are we gonna die? Because this is how Saw movies start. And I looked around and no one paid it any mind. And I was just like, what is happening, guys? No, has no one watched a movie before? This is how they all start. What is happening? And then suddenly it came on later. It was actually an ad for some sort of a cookie charity thing.
Okay.
Of of buying cookies from for children or something. And apparently this has happened before on First Shift, and I just had never heard it before. And it's like ungodly settling. It's just a horrifying thing to hear over a speaker system, and I didn't like it.
You finally snapped back and you're hearing voices.
First of all, as a horror movie expert, I want to say, you are now officially cursed. And
death is coming for you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're going to start seeing like little kids in your mirrors, and I'm sorry, Nick, but I love you.
Well, I'm looking for a new roommate.
I'll mourn you. Yeah, I'm going to mourn you.
You.
Travis and I will mourn you.
Well, that's too bad. I also had a interesting conversation with a robot on the phone the other day. I was trying to change over some payment information because I changed banks when I got the new car and the loan and everything, and so I got a new debit and credit card, so I'm just changing over some payment stuff. So I tried it for, what was I doing? I think it was our AT&T bill. And so the robot gets on and is like, "Hi, I'm here to help you with a certain problem. Are you trying to change your payment plan? Press 1." And then, you press 1 and
you
then
do the thing.
You do the thing. So suddenly I press 1, or no, I say like payment plan or something, like, they have the audio recordings. And suddenly the robot goes, "Hold on a second." And then I hear keyboard clacking on the other end of it. Which I was like, and then I instinctually went, "Hello?" because I was thinking to myself, like, "What, is someone on the other line?" Like, and then they switched me to the robot, but then are looking up stuff. Like, why am I hearing keyboard? I know what a keyboard clack sounds like. And then the robot comes back on again and is like, "Hello. I am switching you over to the processing point. Could you give me the name of your card number?" Okay, and I guess I just tried to like forget about it, and then slowly I gave them the card number, and then they said, "Hold on a sec," and I hear the clicking again, and I was like, okay,
They've grown sentience. Run.
So one of two things: one, the robot is an actual robot that actually has a robot body that needs to actually operate a keyboard, which, don't get me wrong, doesn't make sense. But number two, they have now incorporated keyboard clacks sounds to when the robot is talking to you to make them seem more like real service industry people.
For some reason, the second one makes me more disturbed than the first one.
The second one makes less sense than the first one. Like, I was baffled. I couldn't believe my ears. And it happened like 3 times, so I was not imagining it. And there's something wrong about it. I don't know what upset me about it, but it was upsetting.
Well, the first one is the fact that, someone made a robot and it has to type. That's fine. That's a logical thing. This one was, no, we have a robot voice. We want to make it more human. So let's make it sound like it's typing. I'm like, why would you do that? That's creepy.
Why would you make robots easier to trick me into thinking they're real people? Like, why accelerate the singularity like that? I don't understand. This
is what I'm getting from this story. So first story, you're living in a horror movie. The second story, you are now in Black Mirror.
I'm in a fucking Black Mirror episode for whatever reason.
I think so.
Holy shit.
Okay. Yeah. Travis, can you make sure that Nick is well protected? Make sure and cover up all your mirrors. Don't answer the door. Don't answer the phone. Turn off your cell phones.
Oh, boy.
I mean, considering, I personally never answer my phone anyway, and we don't answer our door, so all I have to do is cover a mirror. It's pretty easy.
Okay. Because I'm concerned now. I am concerned.
I'm still looking for a new roommate.
Oh, man, it was crazy. It didn't make any sense. Speaking of which, I also want to bring up another gripe that I have.
Uh-oh.
Which is the new patients, have you seen the new flavor for Oreos?
Oh god, this again.
I have not. And
let me drop it on you. So Oreos have decided that
toothpaste.
No, I'm sure they've already made it. And I'm kind of a connoisseur when it comes to Oreo flavors because Travis likes to buy some of them to punish me. So
Don't you blame that on Travis. Don't you blame your addiction on Travis.
Travis knows that 3 a.m. Nick cannot help himself when he gets in the sugar need and just eats anything in the cupboards. That's why we got the whole watermelon Pop-Tart story.
I would totally buy toothpaste flavored Oreos.
And he's already bought before, I believe, candy corn Oreos and redfish Oreos.
The Swedish fish ones, yeah.
Swedish fish Oreos.
Mm-hmm. They're as gross as they sound.
Oh, man, they were... I think I did throw them out.
No, that's right. I think we had like the last couple.
I had to throw out the half of the package because I couldn't work my way through it. It was that disgusting.
That sounds terrible. I'm sorry.
It was an awful experience. Less insulting than their new flavor though, which is Oreos, cookies and cream Oreos. So
it's Oreo flavored Oreos?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you know the shake, the Oreos and cream shakes, that its main thing is that there's Oreos in it, and it tastes like an Oreos shake? Well, now there's Oreos that taste like that shake. What?
That's stupid.
Okay, so it is time to burn down society, guys. We gave it a good try, but obviously we've made a mistake.
So this is the big issue with society?
I think it's a warning sign. I think if we've let this happen, we'll let anything happen. And
I mean, we're tear gassing babies at the border, but it's about the Oreo flavored Oreos.
I feel like if we let this stand, what's
our limit?
What are we as a society if we just let fucking Oreos decide to feed us their own Oreo flavored Oreos? Like that, not even Oreo flavored Oreos, because the main thing of the shake is that it kind of tastes like Oreos. So the new Oreos are like, oh look, it's based on this thing that kind of tastes like Oreos. What
it's kind
the
of like,
fuck?
It's like cannibalism, right? I mean, they're feeding us Oreo babies.
It's insane. And yeah, and also just the even taking away that stupid element, they're just adding in, all it is adding in Oreo cookies, the outside of them, into the inside, which is something no one wants. No one wants the Oreo, the outer covering, more than the inside the inside cream.
I still remember, was that physics class in high school or something? There was always this argument, like this one kid in my physics class, I was like, no, double stuffed Oreos are gross because that just means you have less cookie. And we're like,
no,
what the fuck is wrong with you,
that
kid?
person is an insane person.
It's true.
That is
no. It's about the filling. I always took off the top Oreo, licked the filling, and then threw the cookies away.
Right. That's why double stuffed Oreos
because you are a normal human being.
That's why double stuffed Oreos are inherently better.
God.
Yes, because you get more cream with less shitty cookie to deal with. Like, what are we even doing?
Not much.
God damn it! It's
Nick,
just
I need you to like breathe.
Look, I've gone through a lot this week. I've had young children sing me a death lullaby at work. I've had fucking robots click keyboards at me, and this Oreo thing has driven me over the edge.
It's the last straw.
It is the line must be drawn here at Oreos, cookies, and cream. Ugh.
It's okay, brother. It's okay. I mean, we will get through this together. I promise.
Oh,
don't worry.
Boy.
I'm sure they'll come up by Christmas a tinsel flavored Oreo, and you'll be all better.
Yeah, I mean, the candy cane ones aren't bad. Like where they do the mints and then they kind of mix them together. But
That's
you know,
no, tinsel and garland.
Tinsel and garlic. I prefer mistletoe.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know it can be deadly if you eat it. At least according to Batman Returns.
That's poisonous. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, it actually is poisonous.
I can't tell because of like, well, I learned from it. Because I had the thought like, hey, I know that mistletoe is poisonous. Wait, where did I learn that? Batman Returns. I better double check this.
Pretty sure it actually is poisonous.
My knowledge shouldn't come exclusively from movies. I realize.
Yeah, probably true.
Speaking of which. Should we talk a little bit about, we had a little more classic film school for Travis this week.
Yeah.
For last week.
Yes, babe!
Because
one of my favorites. One of my favorite movies.
Well,
this. Go. I'm sorry.
No,
I keep interrupting.
Go for it, Patience.
Go for it.
This is your baby. It sounds like.
I am just so excited that you had Travis watch this movie because, first of all, this was probably my first foray in, other than like Jackie Chan's Drunken Master, into the martial arts world. Mm-hmm. And as much as Jean-Claude Van Damme or JVCD, is hilarious in all of his movies in a bad way or a good way, depending on how you look at him. Mm-hmm. We're talking, of course, about the OG Jean-Claude movie, Bloodsport.
Kumite.
Oh, I mean, that, if you haven't seen Bloodsport, unlike Travis, who hasn't seen anything,
I've seen Bloodsport.
I've seen Bloodsport.
Well, now you have. What was your first impressions, Travis?
It was pretty entertaining. Like, it's one of those movies I'm like, well, this is definitely quintessential, like, martial arts movie right here.
It's funny because Bloodsport is like the thing that broke Jean-Claude Van Damme into the mainstream, where it was like, who is this guy? Who is this unintelligible Belgian son of a bitch?
Who can do the splits?
Let's make him American in more movies. It might be the most Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
Like, it features him the most shirtless. It features the most splits.
And the most shirtless split scenes.
And the most shirtless splits. This is probably the most the JCVD film that has JC'd its VD as much as this one.
That sounds dirty.
It is. It's true, though. I also thought, like, I love that Jean-Claude Van Damme basically remade this movie 2 more times. Like, cause this is basically the same movie as both Kickboxer and Lionheart. And Lionheart is significantly better than both of those, cause...
Can we just talk about the fact that Kickboxer has that amazing dancing scene that no one can replicate? It's just so 80s, it's ridiculous. But I agree with you, Lionheart is the superior movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all the same movie. It's just that Lionheart is just a lot better written and like has like actually, because Jean-Claude Van Damme movies are like they're so fun, but none of them are like what you'd call good. Like,
well written, I think is the thing you wouldn't call them.
Because like even Bloodsport, there's so much about Bloodsport that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I will avenge you, this guy I'm best friends with having met for a day.
Well, they even have, like, the most sexual chemistry is between the 2 dudes in the movie because the chick, the reporter, is, like, a non-character.
Yeah, she's barely important.
And I love that, like, oh yeah, we've known each other for, like, 3 days. I love you, brother. Like, they literally say I love you to one another, which is pretty open and, you know, open male platonic love for the 80s. I mean, I was a fan of it. I was surprised. Also, they have this whole subplot of like the military chasing after him that they never explain. Yeah. Like, oh, we trained you to,
but we come back.
We can't let you fight and get hurt. Wait, as like what? As what? Like, how valuable is he that he can't even go on his own time? Because he's going on furlough. He's going on his own, like, fucking, time. He's not even on military. So he has to, he basically absconds the military, which seems to have no repercussions for him. Oh, but the fights in this movie are awesome. Yeah. Like, the fighting in this movie is so good. And features so many splits and 360 kicks. I also love the ending with Jean-Claude Van Damme's face of just like his screams. He's like, yeah. Ooh, also, whatever the kid that plays him in the beginning, that is so, I feel like they just dubbed over him with JCVD, but at hamster speed. It's like, well, I wasn't going to steal it. I wasn't. I love that no matter how many films he did, his accent, like, never got better. No. Like, it never improved.
Okay, so I am a huge fan of martial arts movies in general, because that's just a logical progression from loving horror. You love also martial arts films because they're brutal and gory and fantastic. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies in particular tend to be a little bit cheesy, but they're fun. Just like, Jackie Chan or Jet Li or, any other amazing martial arts, The Raid, for example. You can't help but love how gory they are. And he's the hero in every single movie, except for, and I think we talked about this in our private messages because yes, we are actual friends, but,
we don't just keep this professional?
Yeah,
like just a professional?
Yeah, no, we actually talk to each other because we actually like each other.
Don't break the illusion.
I'm sorry. But Nick and I were talking the other day about Jean-Claude Van Damme movies that was like, well, I personally like Double Impact, where he plays himself
Twins.
and his twin. So he plays, this is the stupidest movie ever, guys. Seriously. So he plays like the good guy, like cop, and then the bad guy, like, smuggler, type guy. And then Nick's like, that was the third best movie where Jean-Claude Van Damme plays two people. So yep. I want to know if you were going to take top 3 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, what would those top 3 movies be?
Well, first I think we should explain which the top 3 Jean-Claude Van Damme double films are.
Movies.
Twin. Yeah. Okay. So oh boy, there's at least 3 that I know of that I watched.
Double Impact.
It is Double Impact. And Double Impact, and then after that is a movie called Replicant. Replicant. I said it, or as JCVD says it, Replicant.
Replicant.
Which, get this, it features fucking Yondu, like fucking Michael Rooker is a cop that is trying to chase down a serial killer played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. So their answer to hunt down the serial killer is to clone him and then use the new baby clone because it has no memories or anything of the person. It just has his initial instincts to hunt down the serial killer, which is so fucking stupid.
All right, let's concentrate on Jean-Claude Van Damme right now.
James, can you speak in your mic one more time?
Yeah, mic check. What you want?
I need you to adjust your mic. I need you to mic your cable.
There you are. I could barely hear Travis.
Yeah, your thing got disconnected again.
Stupid cord.
I thought
hopefully
you were
we didn't lose too much.
Making food or something in the kitchen.
Okay, so that's anyway. That's number 2, Replicant.
Okay,
and then the best one where Jean-Claude Van Damme is in Double is Time Cop, where he's in 2 places at once.
Yes, that's gotta be number 1 for sure. Because that Time Cop, I feel like was. I know that we all love Bloodsport. Bloodsport was our introduction to Jean-Claude Van Damme. But Time Cop is where he hit his, peak. That's his mainstream peak right there.
Time Cop is fucking awesome.
Awesome.
It also makes so little sense, but in, the best ways. And, it is great. I think, the top three Jean-Claude Van Damme films for me are Time Cop.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Universal Soldier, and then it's Lionheart.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Lionheart.
You picked 3 of the same movie.
Well,
Like,
okay, and I'm going to give a shout out. Is it The Quest? Was that?
Ooh. That's the worst one. The Quest is the worst version of that.
I have a habit of liking terrible movies. That's why you guys like
So does Nick.
Even I don't like The Quest that much. Oh, well, I guess The Quest is a hindrance because he tried to make Bloodsport again, only it's not as good as Bloodsport. And even Bloodsport is the least superior film to Lionheart.
I feel like The Quest has better opponents, like more like I mean, there's actually like capoeira guys. I mean, there's people in The Quest that actually know martial arts. That's probably the only reason why I like it.
But are any of them of the caliber of Chun-Li?
No. God, no. Chun-Li. Kumite. Kumite.
Kumite. Kumite.
Kumite.
My favorite part still in Bloodsport is like when John-Claude Van Damme's character is like hallucinating Chun-Li and like the bus, and even Chun-Li looks surprised to be there.
He looks surprised to be in the hallucination.
He's like, I don't know what's happening.
Whoa, holy shit. What am I doing here?
Definitely my favorite part of the movie.
What else did you
boy.
see, Travis?
What other movies did you see this week?
Yeah, what else did you see anything else new?
We watched She-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we watch? We watched Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
So, the Coen Brothers movie, which I found interesting because they said they wanted to do it as a movie vignette because they didn't understand TV. Because their idea of, like, they said, like, well, movies have acts, like the first act, second act, and the third act, and TV has a first act, second act, and then someone beats it until it's not fun to watch anymore. Which is interesting from filmmakers that I find have trouble understanding what a third act is.
Yeah.
Like, and nowhere is this more apparent than in the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which all of them almost have these abrupt endings that are kind of cruel and just feel like, oh, and we're done now.
Most of them are only one act anyway.
Right. Because, well, they're like short stories anyway.
Right.
But, and the problem with it is that they start off with clearly the best one, in my opinion, with, what's his name? Tim Blake Nelson as Buster Scruggs, as this kind of happy-go-lucky fucking serial killer of a fucking cowboy.
Right.
Which, that was fun. Like, it was violent, it had a funny tone, like, it was anachronistic with its tone, it was neat, even the ending was kind of like, there's always someone better than you.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
No, that one, it worked as, like, we basically didn't get a first act, we basically got the second and third act of a movie.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that was fun, and I was actually kind of piped up for it. The rest of them are kind of mixtures of, I guess that was okay.
No, they basically go down in quality from there.
I really don't like the Liam Neeson one. I think that's the worst one.
Yeah.
The Orator one. That one's just depressing and not fun.
And it's just so long.
Yeah, and it's just really long.
Happens.
Yeah. The other fun one is kind of like the Coach Rider one, which I'm pretty sure that there's supposed to be death.
Yeah.
But I can't tell because the story doesn't want to commit to it.
Right. It's very Edgar Allan Poe light.
It leaves the story open-ended, but then again, I'm like, yeah, but the ending can go either way, but only one way is very interesting and makes even a little bit of sense. Because why are all these people in a coach ride to begin with?
Because they're going to Hotel California. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. So I was, I mean, I have a problem with the Coen brothers mentality when it comes to endings to begin with, but they're really good filmmakers though. Like there's some really great cinematography going on. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like they could have picked, like they had a bunch of ideas that really couldn't make full movies, and they were like, well, we don't want to do a TV show with every episode being a thing, so let's just make a vignette movie. And I'm like, you guys just made a shitty version, you just made a shitty season of TV.
Right.
Like, you just made a shitty anthology. Like, that's not, like, you tried to avoid making a TV show, and you didn't really. Like, these are just episodes of a TV show. I don't get it. Other than that, I did some mandatory film school for the junk food cinema thing that I'm a part of, which I also watched, including Bloodsport, which was part of my repertoire. I also watched Over the Top, and Band of the Hand.
Yes. So good. Well,
Patience, I feel like you're going to meet me halfway on this one over the top.
Well, I don't. I honestly
Across
I don't
the
think
sky.
I've seen Band of the Hand, which I'm going to definitely watch that because it's
Band of the Hand was the best out of the 3 movies that I watched. Like,
Really?
it was so crazy. Like, imagine it's the Dirty Dozen. Like, it's a Dirty Dozen movie, but with teenagers.
Okay.
That in the second act have to save the rec center. Which they do. They save the rec center, only for the rec center to be blown up in the end of the second act by drug dealers to make the third act basically this movie's own sequel, which would be its own Aliens to Alien, which they go and have a fucking shootout and blow up a drug lab with fucking James Remar, Dexter's dad, as a over-the-top, unbelievable drug dealer. And it was awesome.
That sounds like a lot.
It was great. Also, Larry Fishburne as a drug dealer in the second act there too, as one of them that blows up the rec center, as fucking Cream, the drug dealer, which is great. Also, Stephen fucking Lang is their Yoda of the group, of just the trainer of these kids that end up being the band of said hand. And it was awesome. It's on Amazon Prime, and I highly recommend it. Over the Top. Oh boy, Over the Top. So Over the Top and Bloodsport were like very hard for me to like rate on the letterbox thing that I had to do on it, because I'm like, God, I don't know how to rate these, because they're not like good, but oh my God, are they awesome movies.
I mean, entertainment is a thing.
I know, so I had a hard time with this. And Over the Top is even like way weirder. Like it's the arm wrestling movie that doesn't really have any arm wrestling until the third act of it. And then like
he turns his hat around, Nick.
And when he turns his hat around, it's like he turns into a machine.
Okay.
Like he's like, that's what makes him win. Like the arm wrestling competitions, like him. He's like, I gotta become more a machine than man now. No, like Obi-Wan said. No, and it's just awesome. And there's like, and then everyone, even like they show up like Street Fighter characters, like with their own fucking gimmick. Only they're all kind of truckers. Like there's one guy that just drinks motor oil before a fucking arm wrestling match, which is super funny because you see him later like eating Tums or whatever in the audience.
Okay.
Of like, oh God, that was such a bad idea. Motor oil is really bad for you. How did I not know that?
Yeah, it is.
Which is just great. Oh, also the grand prize of this fucking arm wrestling tournament is not a cash prize, or maybe there is a cash prize, but in addition, it's a fucking rig truck. So if you're not a trucker, there's not a whole lot of incentive for you to jump into this tournament.
Okay.
Unless you plan on just selling the big rig truck.
Yeah, I mean, I sell to whoever else is in the contest who didn't get it.
It's it's funny because it's Over the Top and Bloodsport were both Canon Films, the production company, and they flamed out huge. And what one of the things they tried to do with Over the Top was like, oh, you know what's going to be big in the next year or so? Arm wrestling. They take a huge swing at it. People are watching arm wrestling in airports like it's a fucking Super Bowl level football game.
That's weird.
It's arm wrestling championships are held in Las Vegas. The stadium is filled with thousands of fans. Like, it takes such a huge swing at like arm wrestling's going to be super big guys. It takes such a huge swing, like it takes a swing level of like hackers' idea of what the internet is, swing at it and just whiffs it. And it's pretty interesting to behold.
I can imagine.
But yeah, that's what I watched this week. What did you watch, Patience?
I'm actually been really, really lame this week because I was on vacation. So I sort of treat yourself. And I watched, there's a new show on Netflix. If you guys have listened to me before, I'm like a fiend for food shows. So, because I like to cook and things. But there's a new show on Netflix called Final Table. And basically what it is they take 24 chefs from around the
Final Table.
Does it have the last straw on it?
Terrible. You can do better than that, Travis.
Just
I know
terrible.
you.
Just straight terrible.
You can do better than that. So
I stand by it.
They take 24 chefs from around the world, and then they compete in a food, cook-off, 9 different countries sort of food, and then they get judged by the ultimate chef from that country, and I don't know. I like it. I thought it was good. Whatever. Don't judge me.
Food shows are just good binge-worthy stuff.
Yeah, it's something to, watch while you're falling asleep. But that's weird. I can't think of anything else. I literally haven't had a chance because we're prepping for our ghosts episode. Plural. For Deliberations of Doom. So I've been watching a lot of movies involving paranormal encounters. The list is on our website, so you can always check that out. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of ghost movies. And then in my free time, I'm watching The Final Table. Yeah, super boring. Sorry, guys.
That is, that's fine. Nothing wrong with taking a relaxed thing there for a little bit. I have some news stories, but before that, I wanted to go into a new game that I would like to introduce to the podcast.
Oh God. Well,
Travis and I, after watching She-Ra, we were kind of talking about the shipping aspect of it. Of we were wondering since how much they hint at some of the gay pairings in the show, oh man, how many fanfics do you think were written about these characters already? So we looked up an archive of our own to just check it out, and I was way off on the Starhawk captain and Bo the midriff wearing archer. It just it was only 5 of him and already a couple hundred for She-Ra and Catra.
Yeah.
So it kind of got me thinking, that was a fun little game to try and guess. So I want to introduce something, let's see if it works here. And we'll try and call it, I don't know, maybe something Stranger Than Fanfiction.
Oh boy.
So I thought it would be fun to name a geek property, and then have you guys try and guess what is the top ship.
Okay.
What has the most stories written about it on the archive of our own fan fiction?
Okay.
What? So, you guys ready?
Sure.
Yep.
Want to try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we do Harry Potter?
Oh, that's easy though.
Okay. Is it? Let's hear some guesses.
I feel like there's
Draco and Potter.
So Travis's guess is the Slytherin Gryffindor pairing.
Yep.
The Snake and Lion.
Yep.
Okay, I'm liking it.
Because
I feel
people are weird.
Those people are
because people are weird.
Because people are weird.
It's my only defense.
Patience. What do you think?
I mean, I just think I immediately go to Rule 34. If there is anything on the internet, there's going to be porn about it. So I'm going to go straight Harry Potter.
Yep.
Voldemort
What's
porn. That? No nose porn. No nose porn.
Oh, you said Snape in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I bet you that's also a thing.
These sound like good guesses. Should we count it down? Let's see.
Let's see it.
Okay, well, actually I want to read number 4 here. And the number 4 pairing with 8,474 fics written about it is Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley.
Yeah.
A what I feel is going to be a rare hetero pairing in the top spot.
Fanfiction likes to make things gay.
Also a canon pairing, which also interesting. The top 3 are not those. So the top 3, here it is, coming in at number 3 with 9,991, just under 10,000. It's Harry Potter and Severus Snape. Oh, patience. Close, but no cigar.
It's fine. It's fine.
Well, maybe Draco and Malfoy didn't. Draco and Harry didn't make it on the board, so maybe you win by default. But number 2 with 10,000, 13,000, and 24 fics is Sirius Black and Remus Lupin.
Wow.
I know.
I'm surprised at that.
An out of nowhere pairing.
Like, the pairing itself, not surprising. Mm-hmm. But the amount is actually quite.
The popularity of this pick is staggering. Ooh, also James Potter and Lily Evans Potter are number 5.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's nice. Look at them. And the number 1 pairing with a staggering 29,013 fics, more than the previous 2 combined, is Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter.
Called it.
Oh, and Travis wins Stranger Than Fanfiction.
People nasty.
People nasty. That was fun. You know what? I kind of want to try one.
No. First, okay, click on the that pairing and see what the. Now, I want to know what's the top tag for that.
The top tag. Oh shit! I just let me try and go back out of here. Filters. Here's the pairing: Draco Malfoy. Let's see, what are the top tags? How do I get to top tags?
There should be a way, isn't it? Let's see if I can find it quick.
Just lets me click it, and I can't get at it.
There's an additional tags.
Additional tags?
Yeah, top one's just romance, so that's boring.
Oh, you're already on it?
Yeah, my Google Foo is way faster than you.
You got it, alright. Well, I kind of want to try again. So, Travis, would you like to look up a geek property? And then maybe I can guess?
Let's see. What's a fun one?
What should be fun? Patience, do you have a suggestion?
Oh, geez, Louise. Well, just because you just did a little reading about it at your last Anime Con, I would say a Voltron?
Voltron?
Voltron.
Ooh, that's fun.
Sheath.
I mean, I would, or is it Cants?
Nah, I think it's Sheath.
Well, let's find out. Let's go. Okay, so it's me and you, Patience.
Well, I would say I want to say Lortor with anybody, because Lortor is like my Sephiroth of Voltron. He's hot as hell, so he can pretty much have anybody he wants.
Oh my god, I have such a gay crush on Lotor. It
is
like
thank you
not even
so
funny.
Much.
Like
he's
so hot.
He's
so
literally
hot.
Like Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII. I probably
he's furry Sephiroth, which makes him even more taboo.
Can we do like cross?
Can we do cross
culture?
Lotor and Sephiroth.
Can Lotor and Sephiroth? It's like they're making love with each other. Just saying.
Yeah. I think Lotor's enough of a narcissist, sure. Okay, so for Voltron Legendary Defender, I'm gonna actually go, despite the awesome ship name of Sheath, I think I'm gonna go Keith and Lance.
Okay.
Keith and Lance is my pick.
Wow. Okay, I'm not opposed to that.
Neither am I.
Because they're
Alright,
both,
so you wanna know the numbers then?
No,
we have to have Patience guess.
No, she did.
Well, she guessed Lotor and anybody, but you had to pick someone, unless there is a tag Lotor and everybody.
I mean, wouldn't put it past that.
I mean,
can we
Lotor and a chimera of all the other Voltron.
Can we just hashtag Lotor and anybody?
Okay. Well, I think Lotor. Yeah, I think that one would see my top spot. I think Lotor and Shiro maybe might be in a topper. Nah.
Okay, well, before we start anything, I will just say this. Mm-hmm. There is one work with Lotor and everyone as a tag.
Nice!
It's in Russian.
Oh, man, we can't even read the synopsis.
It's like Croatian. I don't know.
Damn. Oh, well. Well, while we look for a Russian translator...
I mean, Google does that for you.
Let me just...
Google already does that.
I appreciate that, Travis. Boy. I appreciate the extra effort you went through right now.
It's what I'm here for.
We in Russia believe that you should share Lotor love with everyone.
All right, so we have our guesses then. You want to go top 3?
Yeah, although I don't know how Patience is going to win when she already has like one at the bottom with one work.
Yeah. So number 3 is Allura and Shiro with 3,540.
Allura and Shiro.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, no, I guess.
I get it. Because Shiro's hot. Sorry.
Yeah, but like also super gay.
But also...
like even before canonically being gay.
I mean, you can still be hot and gay at the same time, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Right, but you don't usually fuck bitches when you're gay. Like,
well,
that's normally a little bit off the table.
We can still dream. Okay. Just saying.
It's what fanfiction's for, man.
All right, number 2. Let's hear
Number 3 is Keith and Shiro.
Keith and Shiro. Oh my goodness!
You were so close. You were so close with Keith and Lance, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but maybe I am the winner.
9,439 fixed with Keith and Shiro.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
And number 1 with 24,029.
Wow.
Keith and Lance.
Oh, I nailed it! Holy shit!
By a huge landslide of more than
god!
Almost more than double than the other two combined.
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
People digging that Keith and Lance love.
Are you saying that Lord Tor was not at all in the top 3?
He's like not even on the list, Patience.
Wow, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking from someone who wants to fuck Lotor.
Well, write the fanfic about it, man.
Wow, man, that is sad. Sorry, Lotor.
Sorry, Voltron. I hate you. I hate you, Voltron fans.
Like I'm looking at like the top ones. I don't see Lotor on here like at all.
Man, wow, what
really?
I've thrown for a loop. But I was right. I was right.
You were.
Keith and Lance.
People digging that red and black or blue or whatever line they're in at the time. that purple energy, man.
I mean, there are like fics of Lotor out there. Like, there's one with Lance/Lotor/Lotor's generals.
Whoa!
Okay,
whoa!
You don't have to try and appease me, Travis. It's
Yikes!
Fine, it's fine.
That one seems like it would also come with a dubious consent tag.
All right, it's your turn, Trav. What do you want to do?
Do you want to go? We want to go another round?
Yeah,
sure,
it's my turn to pick then.
Oh yeah, but then Patience, are you going to be the one judging, or me and?
Yeah, it's going to be Patience judging for this one then.
Patience, can you going to bring it up on your end and see what it is?
You mean like Google foo?
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna have me and Travis, I can't look it up myself because as soon as I look at it, it's gonna pop up.
I got this.
I guess we can just wait and then I'll
that's
I'll
fine
look it up later. Yeah, all right.
We can all take a guess for this.
Yeah.
one.
Okay. So then we can all take a guess. So we'll just Travis pick it and we'll take the guess.
Should I ruin childhoods then?
What's that?
Should I ruin childhoods?
Let's ruin childhoods today.
Let's get dangerous here.
Let's get dangerous.
Pokemon.
Oh,
ooh,
God.
Very interesting. A lot of options on the table. I'm very excited. Let's see.
I'm guessing mine right away.
Yeah?
Gary and Ash.
Gary and Ash.
I'm gonna guess that one.
God damn, that's good. That's probably right up there.
Get some gash in you.
Oh, gash. Oh, what a great... Man, it's on the level of Sheath. Oh, man, I think Travis has nailed it. I'm gonna go with Ash and anthropomorphic Pikachu.
Ooh.
Yep.
Scary.
People weird.
Is that considered bestiality?
I would think. Or at least furry, sort of. I think it's a gray area if it's anthropomorphic.
Then it's xenophilia, I believe.
I would think, kind of. I don't know. Well...
Getting really nitty-gritty here.
Patience, do you have a guess?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go. It's cross species, but at least it's not bestiality. I would probably say you gotta go Pikachu, and then maybe Squirtle, because I mean they're both contenders. Like they're both starters, and I do. And you can judge
Going with
me.
2 Pokemon, very interesting.
Well,
all I can say is my runner-up. My runner-up is definitely Delilah and Mr. Mime.
Oh,
God. Mr. Mime is creepy as fuck, Travis. Jesus Christ.
And people are weird.
Travis has a rare insight to the deviant's mind, wondering why I have a slash respect for you today. Also wondering why this stuff is coming right to the top of your head.
Look, we had this whole conversation before with the Pokemon trailer with Breakfast Pub. It just it's there, okay?
Oh, I bet you there'll be a lot more Pikachu fix now that Ryan Reynolds is fucking Pikachu.
That's fair, actually.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing. But yeah, do you wanna look it up, or should I?
I have it.
You got it? Okay, because I couldn't get the tag for whatever reason. All right, lay it on us. What we got?
So it is the actual title for like the actual entire works in AO3 is Pocket Monsters Pokemon All Media Types. So it's like it's everything.
It's taking everything.
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's manga, games, and all that shit.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
There's actually not as many because like the top one only has 300. So there's surprisingly not a lot of fan fiction for Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah.
I find that surprising.
Yeah, it's only 12,000 total.
Wow.
Unless there might be a separate one for the show.
Maybe it's because they're canonically always 10 to 13 years old.
Whatever.
And people ain't into that.
There is one for the anime, so
Pokemon
should we do that
Go?
one instead?
Which one?
There is one for the anime. There's a separate.
Let's do anime. Let's see what's that.
Yeah,
there's only 2,000 for that one.
Okay.
So
well, let's check it. What do we got?
So it looks like number 3 is Gary and Ash. With 103.
My God.
Only made it to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Number 2 is actually one I'm surprised I didn't guess, but it's there anyway. With only like 20 more, is Jessie and James.
Oh man,
yeah.
That does make sense.
And this might be one of the rare instances where there's more heterosexual pairings than non.
No. Is it really? Is it? Let me guess. It's Ash and Misty.
Ash and Misty
Ash
with
and Misty.
246.
Well, it was always an unconsummated love.
Are you serious?
So
there wasn't one Pokemon in that. Not one. It's whatever. Hashtag,
Whatever.
I'm mad.
Why aren't you weirder sexually, Pokemon fans?
They're pretty tame, all considering.
I wanted more like Pokey Ash. Oh, never mind. I'm never gonna Pokey.
Yeah, let's just stop.
It's bestiality, but with Pokemon. Pokestiality. That's terrible. I'm sorry. It's Pokestiality. No,
I just want to play some pocket pool with my pocket monsters. That definitely sounds like a euphemism.
You guys know I'm a huge Pokemon Go fan, and I am playing to this very day. So,
Well, Patience, just for you, I'm going to have to burn my phone after this, but just for you, in the Pocket Monsters all media types, there are 142 works with the tag bestiality.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
It all is right with the world.
And the proper term is apparently pokophilia. Get it right.
Oh,
wow, I love that there's a term for it. I love that there's a term for it, and it's gross.
That just changed my life, Travis, for the better.
I love that we were like, wow, Pokemon fans surprisingly pure, and then suddenly there's a whole word for fucking Pokemon.
Look, the internet exists for a reason, guys.
Oh boy, that was a entertaining, terrifying, and probably haunting journey that we all went on.
I'm gonna burn my phone now.
I feel like that's a game.
I
feel like
apologize
this is a
to your
game
listeners.
we are gonna play again, because that was fantastic.
Let's do that with Justin next time. That could be fun.
Oh, let's play with Justin. Let's play with all special guests. Stranger Than Fanfiction is the new is basically the new... No, you know what? We're changing the podcast, guys. It's Stranger Than Fanfiction.
And a new podcast is born.
I think this should be its own podcast. Definitely.
I really don't think it should.
I think we could make a whole podcast. And you know what? Maybe we could read a synopsis of like some of the tags.
My gosh.
We could make a whole I could make a whole show out of this, man.
Oh, Lord.
I
You're gonna have to
volunteer as tribute for your first guest.
Tune in, guys. You're gonna love the Wincest episode.
Oh.
It is coming.
That would almost be too easy.
It's coming in all senses of the word. But yeah.
With that out of the way.
I want to hit up on like just 2-3 news stories that came up in the week that I found very interesting. One being Daredevil. The fans are petitioning Netflix to renew Daredevil for season 4, which marks like the third time that they're like, bring back Iron Fist, bring back Iron Fist, bring back Luke Cage, bring back Daredevil. Which the Daredevil one is the only one I get because I was like, oh yeah, Daredevil season 3 was surprisingly pretty good.
Right, but also like would have been fine if they stopped it there.
It's kind of like done. Like I mean I would actually like to see more because like they really showed like, oh yeah, we can make good stories in this universe. But honestly, it really leaves place off where it's like, oh yeah, we can be done, and I can go back and rewatch that series actually and kind of have fun with it. Also, the FTC is going to investigate video game loot boxes to see if they're actually if they constitute an illegal form of online gambling.
I mean, it is gambling.
I mean, yeah. So I'm actually interested in keeping an eye on that to see if like what results they come up with.
Well, my most interesting though is that for this, it's always like it's console and PC games they're targeting, but like all mobile games are basically gambling.
Yeah. But I think mobile games come with a different context to it.
Possibly.
That the model for making money on mobile games is that.
Right.
Like there's not another, like, video games are like
it's only source of revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I think just the way they view that is different.
Whereas like Overwatch makes literally $1 billion or so off of loot boxes.
Yeah. And
for something that has no effect on the game.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that they have that element of like, it does feel like playing a slots machine. Of like, what am I going to get?
Yeah, it's
what am I going to get? Also, in video game related news, Nintendo finally gets with the times and lets players monetize gameplay videos.
Really?
Yay!
Well, that's unfortunate considering that Article 13 just passed in Europe.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So that's
really bad.
Yeah, that's refresh me on that one.
Article 13 is basically the anti-meme law, where they put the onus on the actual website to prevent copyright infringement.
Wow. Okay.
So rather than Nintendo going after people, it would be up to like YouTube, Facebook, any social media site to go after other people for breaking copyright laws.
Oh, they ain't doing maybe YouTube, since they're kind of
It would be a fine if you don't.
Okay.
So it basically comes down to you're just going to get straight up banned.
Yeah.
They're going to single-handedly, if this gets passed, could single-handedly destroy YouTube. Anybody making money off of YouTube, you can't do it.
Well, unless you're making straight up all your own original content,
right.
Which is not what anyone really is doing
on
YouTube.
Like all Let's Plays. I mean, even memes could potentially get hurt. Like,
interesting. Oh, okay.
It's really bad. Like, this is something on like a higher level than net neutrality of badness.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Because even though it's happening in Europe, it's not as if people are like, it's not like YouTube's going to like, well, America can still have their shit. No, they're just going to shut it down.
Yeah. Well,
so to any EU listeners, please stop that. There is still another vote in January.
On happier news, we have Margot Robbie is after the news of the Sirens script that's being passed around. They're making the Gotham City Sirens movie. She's pushing. She wants Poison Ivy in the DCEU real bad. She's quoted as saying like she wants Harley Quinn to be teamed up with like all the other female badasses of the DC universe, which is why they try to make the studios wanted to push a Joker and Harley solo movie.
No.
And Margot Robbie was like, no. The only way I'm coming back for this if it's with all these other badass ladies that I'm going to be doing with, and we get a lady director.
Nice.
And I think that's awesome.
I think Margot Robbie is doing better for DC than DC is.
Or maybe she's really into Poison Ivy and wants to be in a romance scene with a green chick.
Look, I don't like.
Look,
no shame
way,
there.
man.
Like, go for it.
Like, if that's your thing. So I just thought that's pretty cool that the DC movie is probably being dragged into a better direction by one of the actors just being like putting their foot in the sand of like, no, I want to do this other thing, not the generic stupid love story Joker movie that you're probably gonna fuck up.
Yeah. Well, I guess they get that sort of benefit from being like one of the few good things about the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, which actually made, I actually checked the stats on it, like, as much as a critical bomb as it kind of was, it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, it made a lot of money. But I guess that's what happens when you put a Bohemian Rhapsody in your fucking trailer. It's just that people get jazzed up for it and go see it. But yeah, so that was fun. Cowboy Bebop is getting a live-action series coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
It seems to be now this I think it's gonna happen because Netflix actually did announce it looks like, but seriously guys, I've been hearing about a live action Cowboy Bebop movie for like 10 fucking years.
Well, this one's a series though, right?
This one's a series.
I mean, that could potentially be better than a movie.
Said 10 episode series. No idea on casting yet. I don't really get it. There's nothing really wrong with Cowboy Bebop. Like,
no, it's one of those animes that like holds up even now.
Well, maybe like you go back and you do a remaster on it, clean it up a little bit, but like there's nothing really needed to update about it. Like there's nothing that like it plays like a Western. It's not. I just feel like there's not a lot to do with that series. Like, what do you do with it while keeping to the spirit of it, while not but like still telling an interesting story that I haven't seen done better in the anime.
Right.
But I don't know. I just thought it was like an interesting story that is finally going to happen. But yeah, that was basically all the news I had for today. Did anyone else have any other news?
I have a couple of, today in horror, because that's my jam. I feel like that's why you guys have me on this thing. But, so I swear I'm not a paid corporate shill, but I do love me some Shudder. And
I just knew she was going to say Shudder.
How did you know?
Because every time we're on this podcast, you mention to me about fucking Shudder.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to, but I kind of do. But
what Joe Bob Briggs marathon did you watch this week?
Well, first of all, he did a Thanksgiving marathon on Thanksgiving, which I did not get to see, but it is archived, so I am going to go back and watch it. However, Shudder is having a like sort of Black Friday special where you can get 3 months, I believe, for $10. And also, the most important thing is that Mandy was released on Shudder today.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is the Nick Cage phenomenon, which I seriously cannot stop talking about.
Wait a minute. I assume you're saying it's the Nick Cage phenomenon is that it's affecting the nation, or is it Nick Cage's version of the John Travolta movie Phenomenon? Is it him face-offing into the movie Phenomenon? Because I will watch it either way.
That's actually a valid question, Nick. No, I'm saying that this is Nick Cage's magnum opus. You cannot get more Nick Cagey than Mandy. He turns it up to like 19 on the Nick Cage level of Nick Caginess, which is like 0 through 10.
I'm glad you said 19 because I'm like, isn't his dial always at 11?
Yeah.
Like,
I think so. I mean, Face Off, which all of us love, Travis, I'm looking at you. I mean, Face Off is like a solid 12, 13, especially the priest part where he's like doing in the train station and he grabs the choir girl's butt. This is a solid 19, 20 on the Nick Cage level. So I cannot, it comes out today on Shudder. I can't recommend it enough. this is without a doubt my favorite Nick Cage movie. Also, I want to give a shout out, which also comes out today at Alamo Draft Houses around the country, is Anna and the Apocalypse, which I saw this movie at Fantastic Fest 2 years ago, and I hate musicals, and I absolutely fell in love with this movie. It's a zombie Christmas musical.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. And if you get a chance to see it, please go see Anna and the Apocalypse. It just got picked up for distribution. It's coming out today. The end of November at Alamo Draft Houses, and hopefully it will get a wider distribution. It's amazing. It has Bill Nighy in it. You can't go wrong. Bill Nighy sings. He's the principal. He's an asshole. It's fantastic. I don't want to give anything away.
Awesome.
So that's your horror movie news with patience.
And that was horror movie news with patience. Now back to the regular scheduled programming. Thanks for that spooky update.
So
I always like to put on a I always feel like it's not a podcast unless I put on a transatlantic accent.
So spooky.
As long as we're giving stuff shout out, I should mention that I read a comic book recently that I was given to when I was in New York Comic Con. Hadn't had a chance to pick it up yet. It was a comic book called Think Tank, which is pretty good. It's like a Tony Stark if he didn't build an Iron Man suit, like if he got drafted at 13 and got stuck in a military lab and was like forced to build weapons the rest of his life, and he gets frustrated and basically breaks his way out and to try and kind of not to doesn't want to build weapons anymore, and he's kind of a sardonic asshole. Like, he really is kind of a Tony Stark type of like brilliant kind of sarcastic genius. And it's funny because it keeps it a little more realistic than say a superhero movie, but like he does get some special like gadgets that are kind of sciencey magic, but it's a fun time, and I would recommend it. Again, Think Tank.
Tank.
Yeah, pretty cool. By the same people who made Sunstone, which is the most romantic story between a lesbian BDSM relationship you will ever see. And nope, that is not a joke. It is honestly like a pretty heartwarming story for those of you who have read Sunstone. Also, let's see, before we wrap up here, I did want to mention that I made the announcement on Nick Izumi's show, Takoyaki, but I wanted to mention on the podcast itself too. I officially have an IMDb credit. I will be in the movie Black Box.
Yay!
As a voice. I'm gonna try to find the actual. I think I am the news reporter. I'm an interviewer. The story is about a guy trapped in a space pod out in space, and he's trying to work his way out of a dire situation. And I'm one of the only other voices in the film. I play the guy that tries to interview him via Skype or the intercom call. So basically, what I do on a regular basis,
right.
It was not a stretch, but it was from some of our friends over at Newfound or Newground Films in their movie Black Box, which was pretty cool. It was fun to do.
Nick plays himself.
Nick, it was fun. I can't actually find the name of the character here, but yeah, just wanted to give. It's in post production right now, and it's gonna be out. I'll try and keep you updated on it actually when it releases. But since I announced it on someone else's show, I guess I'll just like make sure I had the official announcement here because I don't think I mentioned it at all. So yeah, it was a fun time, a very interesting. I only have like a couple lines, but it was a very interesting.
Congratulations, friends! That's awesome.
It was just. It was literally just like
moving on up.
It was a previous acquaintance's Kickstarter, so that was basically the reason I got it.
It still counts. It's still amazing.
It
IMDb
says here,
credit.
Nick Tice is an actor
What?
known for Black Box. So, guys, I am officially too big for this podcast. We will.
This is your podcast.
And I'm too big for it. I'm sorry to inform myself that
Travis and I talking about how Nick is gone on to fame and glory and burning out, doing too many drugs,
I'm really
having sex with hookers.
I'm so sorry to inform myself that I just no longer have the time to be on your podcast. I'm sorry to disappoint me, but it's just what has to be, and I'm sure I will understand.
It's okay,
you know what?
Travis
That's right.
and
I
I
hated
will
that guy
we'll
anyway.
still have a good time. Yeah,
He was kind of a dick.
Yeah, I hated that guy.
Really
He's
loud, bogarted the mic all the time.
kind of
It
a
was
jerk
just-
face, honestly.
Right?
Never let anybody else talk.
So
asshole.
narcissistic, self-absorbed.
It was just fucking ending Nazi 2. Movie doesn't end exactly the way he wants it. Then he's just fucking 2 stars, whatever.
What's the thing with Oreos? Like, he's obsessed.
Now, the Oreo thing, I get where that guy's coming from. I feel like I could respect that. Guy knows what he wants with Oreos. I think that's something that even, real attracted to the ladies, a guy who knows what snack food he wants.
Uh-huh.
Always making Travis watch shitty fucking movies. It's a
Yeah,
travesty.
because no one does that around here.
You got to watch Bloodsport this week. You got treated. You have it good. Some co-hosts don't even get to watch Bloodsport.
I feel so privileged.
He treated you, Travis. He literally was like, "Oh, it's Thanksgiving. I'll throw Travis a bone."
Yeah, it's not
Let him
Jurassic
watch
Park 2 and
Bloodsport.
3.
All right, I'll tell you what. We're actually going to wrap it up here, guys, and we'll save the She-Ra review for next week, I think.
All right.
We're already at an hour 15 or whatever. We'll keep it here, and then we'll maybe, if I don't add it on in editing afterwards, we'll just do it next week. It would probably just be a lot easier. So, we'll get on out of here. Patience, before we go, would you like to tell the people where they can find you and your content and Deliberations of Doom and all that other shit?
Absolutely. You can find me at prof.patience on Twitter and Instagram and Facebooks. And as always, you can find me at Deliberations of Doom on oneofus.net.
That is fantastic. I highly recommend you do so. Fun site, fun time, great content. If you'd like to find us, you can find us at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you can find podcasts. If you'd like to subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher, that'd be great. Or leave us a review. 5-star reviews are very helpful in order to getting us up there to beat that algorithm. So if you enjoy the podcast and want to help us out, that would be a great way to do so. You can also follow us on our social media on Facebook on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, or follow us on Twitter at Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, or Instagram at Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. I should also mention that Netflix and Kill is back and on its own iTunes feed. So you can look for that on its own separate iTunes feed on Netflix and Kill on iTunes at Netflix and Kill or Netflix and Kill Pod. It also has its own social media on Netflix and Kill's Facebook page. You can go and like it there, or on Twitter at Netflix and K, at Netflix and K. Because Netflix and Kill was taken from me.
That's more to them.
It was.
Really?
I think we should Netflix and kill them, or Netflix and chill them until they give it to us.
We have to find them and then have them on the show.
And yes, it's going to be a very passive aggressive show. But thank you guys so much for listening. And until next time, we're on the Apology Kick Out, and we're out.